Welcome. I'm glad you're here. In this small, quiet moment that belongs only to you, a moment where the world outside has softened and what remains is just the gentle rise and fall of your own breath, I'm here simply to sit beside you, softly, safely. Tonight, we will wander together into a story that is both ancient and familiar. A story you may have passed by many times in the everyday world, but rarely had a chance to truly pause and listen to. It's the story of trees. But before we step into that journey, give yourself a few slow moments so your body and mind can rest, so everything still waiting outside can slip gently off your shoulders. Feel the place where you're lying, the bed, the blanket, the quiet support of the earth beneath you. There is nothing you need to try for, nothing you need to hold up. Tonight, your only task is to breathe. Breathe in softly through your nose. Hold for just a moment and let the exhale fall out like a sigh. In and out like little waves along the shoreline. Unhurried, tireless, simply being. If there's any place in your body that feels tight or guarded, let your breath move there like warm water. Your forehead, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Everything can soften now. Tonight, you do not have to be strong. You do not have to be alert. You do not have to think about tomorrow. Tonight, you are allowed to be simply a human looking for a bit of peace. Breathe in, breathe out. Slowly, you are safe. You are supported. You are allowed to rest. As your mind grows quieter, we step together into the story. A story without drama, without lessons to remember, only time, space, and rhythms older than human history. A story of trees, long ago, so long ago that there were no humans, no birds, no squirrels, not even eyes to witness anything. The earth was raw, damp, and unformed. Plants lived pressed close to the ground, small and soft, with no need to prove anything. And then, in that vast ancient stillness, a few plants began to rise. Not quickly, not clearly, not with any goal, just a quiet curiosity to reach a little higher. Over millions of years, so slowly that any observer would fall asleep for generations before noticing, those small plants became the first trees. They were awkward at first, their trunks thin, their branches sparse, leaning slightly, as if asking the world, "Is this height really for me?" No birds perched there. No animals ran beneath. They simply stood through wind, through rain, through silences longer than all human storytelling combined. Not because they were strong, but because they were never in a hurry. Millions more years passed, and trees learned how to make wood. They didn't celebrate. They didn't announce anything. They simply grew more quiet and more steady, and the forests began to cover the earth. No one called them forests. No one said ancient or sacred. No one stood in the shade and whispered, "How beautiful." They just existed, unnoticed, unmeasured, unpraised, for millions of years. Then the dinosaurs came. Massive creatures shook the ground when they walked. They roared, they fought, they lived and disappeared in brief, thunderous cycles of time. And the trees? They remained. Not surprised, not afraid, not impressed. Wind blew, trees bent. Rain fell, trees received it. Dinosaurs ate leaves, trees fell. New trees grew, quietly, patiently, without complaint. Then the meteor came. The world changed. The dinosaurs vanished and the forests returned, not as conquerors, not as mourners, simply continuing. Much, much later, humans appeared. Humans saw trees. And for the first time in the lifetime of trees, someone gave them names. Oak, cedar, pine, willow. The names didn't change the trees. They simply helped humans feel closer to them. Then, humans began to measure. How tall? How old? How strong? Could this one build a roof? Could that one make a bow? The trees didn't answer. They didn't mind. They had lived hundreds of millions of years without being known. They could continue just as easily. But from that moment, something between humans and trees began to shape the world. Humans built homes, boats, fires, music, tables, shelter, memory. And slowly, generation by generation, the forests thinned. Not suddenly, not loudly, just a little less each era, like a song fading softly over time. Yet, through all of this, trees did not change who they were. They remained still, slow, enduring. While humans rushed, while history roared, while ages turned and turned again, trees continued to do what trees always do: grow, stand, and stay. Tonight, as we begin this long story, you might picture a tree in your mind. It doesn't need to be special. It doesn't need to be beautiful. Just a tree. Standing, quiet, timeless, generous, without speaking. Take a slow breath and feel that image spreading gently through you. A calm older than words, soft, vast, unhurried. Let your body continue to soften. If your eyelids feel a little heavy, allow them to become even heavier. If your breath has grown deeper than when we began, keep that rhythm. Everything can move more slowly now, very slowly, like the growth rings of a tree, one thin layer added each year, yet enough to build a life that lasts centuries. Breathe in and breathe out, like a leaf swaying softly in the night wind. After humans learned to name trees, to see them, to recognize that trees could walk beside them in life, a long shared journey began. A journey where humans and trees traveled together, sometimes in harmony, sometimes far apart. In the beginning, it was gentle. Small groups of people found shade beneath the trees. They brought with them their stories, their midday naps, their quiet conversations about their own lives. The trees stood there, listening without answering, like an old friend who asks nothing, advises nothing, but simply remains. Then, one day, someone discovered that a hollowed tree trunk could become a boat. Just a little carving, a little shaping. Place it on the water, and suddenly, humans could go farther than ever before. From that moment, trees began carrying human dreams beyond riverbanks, across lakes, down winding rivers, and out to the sea. The tree did not protest. It simply changed form. Quietly, patiently. Time passed. More people came. Settlements grew. Villages became towns, then cities. To build a roof, people needed wood. To make fire for warmth, they needed wood. To cook food, make tools, survive winter nights, they needed wood. And so the forests, vast forests, endless forests, began to thin, not quickly, not violently, just a little at a time. If you lived then and stood on the edge of a forest, you wouldn't have noticed anything. The trees were still there. There were still so many, so wide, so deep, so endless that it felt impossible they could ever disappear. But trees measure time in centuries, and humans measure time in lifetimes. And between those two rhythms, a gap began to grow. When humans learned to plant rice, millet, corn, wheat, they needed more open land, more sunlight, fewer shadows. So the trees made space. Not because trees were weak, not because humans were powerful, but because humans were in a hurry, and trees were not. A tree can wait 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years. But humans cannot. Then came the age of bronze, and then iron. Axes grew sharper, saws cut faster, the sound of falling trees carried further. To the sky, the sound was small, but to the forest, it was the sound of change. Still, forests covered most of the world, so vast that in the green island now called Ireland, a squirrel could travel from one coast to the other by leaping branch to branch without ever touching the ground. Imagine a world that green, a world where the sky is hidden beneath a cathedral of leaves. Deep, quiet, endless. Then came great civilizations: Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, Rome, and in the east, dynasties that rose and fell across mountains and rivers. Different beliefs, different languages, different ways of life, yet all of them stood beneath trees. Date palms along the Nile, Greek philosophers thinking beneath olive branches, Roman legions marching through misty forests, monks in faraway temples, planting pine and cedar as a reminder that silence outlives power. The trees stood there, watching, not judging, not recording, not praising, not mourning. While humans laughed, cried, loved, hated, built, destroyed, the trees simply remained in time. Then one day, humans wanted to go farther, across oceans, so they turned to trees once more. Planks became hulls, beams became masts. Tall trunks held wide sails of white canvas, and so an entire forest became a ship. And that ship carried merchants, sailors, and explorers to lands no map had ever named. Empires expanded, maps were redrawn, journeys were sung about for generations. But few remembered that behind every voyage stood the shadow of a forest. Then came the age of steam, coal, iron ships, factories. Humans said, "We have left the age of trees behind." But not quite. The iron railroad tracks still rested on wooden ties. Deep mines were held up by wooden beams. The first modern cities were framed from wood within their walls. And the words humans used to record the world, books, letters, maps, diaries, newspapers, were still made from trees. The world was loud. Engines roared, factories exhaled smoke. Trains screamed along steel lines. But if you listened closely, very closely, you could still hear the soft, ancient whisper of wood, quietly holding everything up. And then, something gentle and beautiful. No matter how far humans traveled, no matter how many maps they redrew, no matter how the world changed, most trees on Earth have never been touched. They remain. On mountains, in deep forests, along rivers without bridges, under cold northern fog, inside warm tropical canopies. Unseen, unnamed, unrecorded, simply living, slow, long, peaceful. If you listen long enough, you will understand. We came later, much later. We are guests in the story of trees, not the other way around. And that is something quietly miraculous. Now you may take one slow breath, light as a leaf turning in the air before it touches the ground. If your body wants to fall asleep now, let it. Do not resist. If your mind is still awake and wishes to continue, I will tell you the next part. Just say, continue with part 3. I'll be here, slowly, with you, the way a tree stands in the wind. Sieh da, if your body has softened more now than when we first began, allow it to continue just like that. No need to adjust your posture. No need to try or change anything. Simply let your mind drift. The way late sunlight spreads slowly across the surface of a forest. Take a deep breath in and let it fall out gently, like wind moving through leaves. We've traveled together through hundreds of millions of years. From the moment the first plants lifted themselves from the ground, to the time humans named them, used them, and lived alongside them. Now we continue. No rush, no urgency, just as the trees have always done when forests became the quiet foundation of human life. By the Middle Ages, the world had changed greatly. Villages appeared along rivers and at the forest's edge. Dirt roads connected one place to another. Churches, monasteries, walls of stone, all of them needed wood. That quiet presence no one spoke of, yet everything depended on. Wood kept roofs from collapsing, kept ovens warm in winter, kept doors steady against the wind, kept bridges from falling into the river, and the forest, once again, stood behind everything, never asking to be thanked. In the monasteries, monks cared for the forest in a way that was unusual, slow, intentional. Measured not in seasons, but in centuries, they marked trees, tracked groves, studied seasons. They knew how many years a tree needed before it could be taken, which trees should be left to grow older. They knew that the forest would answer back if time was rushed. They did not see trees as resources. They saw them as the rhythm of the earth. Meanwhile, kings saw forests differently. To them, forests meant power. Who was allowed to hunt? Who was allowed to gather fallen branches? Who would be punished for the swing of an axe on a standing trunk? Trees had never been divided before, but humans have a habit of drawing borders around everything. And still, the trees remained. They did not lean toward kings. They did not lean toward common people. They simply stood. When forests became the ships that carried humanity far away, one day, humans looked toward the sea and wondered, what lies beyond that horizon? New lands? New people? A future larger than the one we know? And to answer that question, they returned to the trees. A single ship could require more than 1,000 trees. Each trunk needed to be tall, flexible, strong enough to endure salt, storm, and time. The tree would stand for decades, sometimes centuries, and then leave the forest, go to the ocean, and become the wings of a journey, exploration, empires, trade routes, encounters and collisions of cultures. All began with a forest. Yet the trees were never mentioned in the stories. People celebrated the sailors, the captains, the explorers, but never the tree. And the trees did not mind, because trees know whoever stands the longest does not need to be remembered. Time will remember for them.
When humans believed they had outgrown the age of trees,
then came machines, steam, gears. The world sped up, and humans said, "We no longer depend on trees." But underground mines were held up by wooden beams. Railways that crossed mountains rested on wooden ties. The first concrete buildings were framed with wood inside, and the cabinets, full of documents, laws, letters, maps, ledgers, were all wood, simply shredded and pressed thin. Even the industrial world, loud and roaring, was quietly supported by trees reshaped in silence. No complaint, no resentment, no grief.
When trees returned to themselves.
But through all that noise, most trees were not in cities. They remained deep in forests, where there were no cars, no streetlights, no human voices. There, time flows differently. A seed falls. It rests for a very long time. A very, very long time. There is no hurry. Then someday, because the rain is right and the soil is soft, it opens. A tiny green stem pushes upward. No one sees it. No one photographs it. No one writes it down. But it happens perfectly, without needing to be witnessed. The tree grows, becomes a forest. The forest becomes the spine of mountains. The mountains become the boundary of the sky. Trees do not need humans, but humans have never once truly separated themselves from trees, because every breath we take is a gift of leaves.
And finally, the story ends exactly the way it began.
If you look at history, you'll see trees watched oceans change shape, watched dinosaurs come and go, watched humans appear, love, lose, build, destroy, return, and leave again. The trees never tried to remember. Time remembered for them. And when every building collapses, when stone crumbles, when metal rusts, when paper dissolves into dust, trees will grow again, from the soil made of everything that once existed. There is no ending, only return. Trees are never in a hurry, and because of that, they are never truly gone.
Now, if your eyes feel heavy, let them close. If your breath feels soft, let it guide you into sleep. You don't need to carry anything from today. Tonight, you only need to rest. The way a tree stands quietly in the forest, doing nothing, simply being. And that is enough. Under. Now, as the story comes to a close, as the journey of hundreds of millions of years settles quietly inside you, there is nothing left you need to hold on to anymore, only stillness. Like a forest at night, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a quiet woodland. Not to walk into it, not to explore, just to feel it. The sky has darkened, but not a heavy darkness, a gentle dusk.
the kind where you can almost hear the fireflies drift past. A breeze brushes your skin. Not cold, not hurried, just a soft touch that says, "You're home now." Take a slow breath in and let a long breath go. Listen to your own breathing, steady, soft, low, like leaves brushing lightly against one another, high in the branches. In this forest, nothing needs to hurry. Nothing is racing time. Nothing needs to be finished before the sun returns. No one is waiting for you to answer. There is no task resting on your shoulders. It is only you and the gentle, open space of the night. You can imagine yourself as a tree now. No need to move. No need to do better than anyone. No need to prove your worth. No need to be strong. No need to be right. No need to try. Just stand and let your breath do the rest. Let your hands soften, your fingers loosen. Let go of anything still being held too tightly. Let your shoulders fall, your neck soften, your jaw release, your forehead smooth like still water. Here, there is no worry that has any reason to remain. The forest around you breathes with you, slow, steady. Like an ancient heartbeat the earth has always known. A single leaf drifts down, not because it is sad, not because it has lost something, but simply because it is time to rest. A seed lies in the soil. It does not know when it will sprout, but it does not worry. It has all the time in the universe. So do you. You do not need to stay awake. If your body wants sleep, let it sleep. Sleep does not come from effort. Sleep comes when there is nothing left to effort for. Breathe in deeply. Hold just a moment and exhale, letting every thought fade like morning mist over a quiet lake. If a thought appears, do not chase it, do not resist it. Just watch it pass like a bird gliding across the canopy and then disappearing beyond the branches. There is nothing to keep. In this forest, everything knows how to leave when the time is right. Feel the beating in your chest now. It is slower than when we began, deeper, warmer, as if your heart and the forest are breathing the same quiet song. There is no separation between you and the world, only one stillness, wide, soft, and enough. If your eyes are closed now, let them remain closed. If your body has begun to drift, let it drift. You are not falling. You are being held, carried, cradled in the wide arms of the earth. Any sound outside is only the wind passing through. No one is calling for you. No one needs you right now. You lack nothing. You need nothing. Sleep is coming in its own rhythm, slow, very slow, but certain, like a tree adding one more ring in silence. Now, all you need to do is breathe and let sleep come to you. You don't need to reach for it. I'll stay here with you just a little longer. until your breath is deep and even, and you dissolve into the gentle rest of night. No worries, no names, no remembering, no expectation, only rest. I wish you a sleep that is deep, whole, and peaceful, like the forest holding the night. Fort, sleep now. I'm still here, but you can sleep now. Fort,
Even if we found love again,